Are you ready to be part of the evolution?
Well, I am part of the evolution. From the first time I tried this, I couldn't shut up about it. Let me tell you my story. Let me back up. You know, this contains the top molecules from 44 of the most powerful plants on the planet. This science team, half of them were quantum physicists. And they did something nobody's ever done before. I need you to understand this. They went into the quantum structure of the plants to locate, isolate, remove, and study every molecule. And do you know that there are like 1,000 different types of molecules in every plant? So that's 44,000 molecules they studied. And they studied, what's the frequency of this molecule? What does the molecule do in the body? Because every molecule does something different. And how does it act and interact with each of the other molecules? Took them 30 years. This is not going to be duplicated, believe me. 30 years and 150 million variables to come up with this spray. This is a spray. There's nothing in this but those molecules from 44 of the most powerful plants on the planet. Spray it under your tongue. When I got it, I started 4 sprays, morning, afternoon, and evening. Within 2 months, I could walk. Now, I've been in that wheelchair for 2 years and couldn't put any weight at all on my legs. I had had an auto accident, and I was not going to have back surgery, mainly because I've never heard of any of them that have ever been 100% successful. Within 2 months, I could walk. Why? When you spray this under your tongue, the body goes, oh my gosh, this is the most powerful thing I could have. Yeah, it's true. It opens the circulation and microcirculation in your body. And then it begins nourishing your body back to health. It cleans the blood. Now, how does it do that? When you put high frequency molecules, this is a quantum physics thing. When you put high frequency molecules into a closed system, like our circulatory system, then everything that's low frequency raises up in frequency. It transmutes it. What's low frequency in your blood? Virus, bacteria, fungus, mold, chemicals, pesticides, glyphosates, heavy metals, radiation, chemtrails, spike protein, plastic particles, parasites, God knows what else. They're all low frequency in the blood. And when you put this under your tongue, it goes into your blood, and all of those low frequency things have to raise up in frequency. It's a law of physics. And they change into something that the body can deal with and get rid of. Nothing else does that. And then when the blood gets clean, guess what happens? Then the immune system comes back online. See, the immune system, when our blood is dirty, I mean, how many people do you know their immune system's down? Yeah, like everybody, because it doesn't have vision. What do I mean by that? It has to have vision to be able to locate and destroy fast aging and damaged and diseased cells. So now it can do that. And now, instead of our bodies reproducing duplicate copies of our aging cells with shorter telomeres, which mean less life, shorter life, this is doing one other thing. This is supporting our own stem cell production. You know, babies have massive amounts of stem cells. By the time you're 25, half of them are gone. By the time you're 60, almost all of them are gone. Or if you have any, they don't work because the immune system's out. Anyway, what happens is now when cells die, and we have like 1 million of them die every day, my body's producing brand new baby stem cells, my own stem cells, not being injected, but my own stem cells with very long telomeres, which mean longer life. Now let me show you a picture. Show you a picture of me. Can you see this? This is me 5 years ago before I started on this. And you know, you you heard Kimberly. I've been at this for so long. I've been doing everything right. But I want you to look at my skin. This looks like blocked up circulation and dirty blood. And I was heavier because I'd been sitting for 2 years. But this is me. This is 3 years later. Look at my skin. It's luminous because my blood is clean. My circulation is open. I've got brand new baby stem cells, so things can repair. Stem cells are repair cells. So 4 months is a blood upgrade. If you do this for 4 months, you're upgrading your blood because in 4 months' time, that's a blood cycle. And what that means is in 4 months, every single red blood cell dies and a new one takes its place. And so in 4 months' time, then every new red blood cell gets formed in the presence of these high frequency molecules if you're doing it on a consistent basis every day. And they take on the frequency, they take on the healing information, they take on the quantum nutrition, the likes of which you've never had in your body if you haven't used this yet. And it's an upgrade in your blood. And I'll tell you what happened. You know, I told you 2 months I could walk with no pain because the inflammation was gone. I gave it to my husband who had been diabetic, had blood sugar issues. We're not using medical terms. For 40 years. And he was giving himself injections 3-4 times a day. And by the end of 4 months of using this, 4 sprays, morning, afternoon, and evening, he was off of giving himself shots because he took his blood sugar every, 3-4 times a day. And we went and had blood tests, and his A1C had gone from horrible to no longer having a blood sugar issue. And I went, wow, that's pretty incredible. He was 80 years old when we got started with this. And then he also had a heart condition where his cardiologist had told him he would never get better, he would only get worse. He'd had it for 10 years. By the end of that first 4-month period, he didn't have any episodes. And so we went to the cardiologist who recorded his heart in normal sinus rhythm for the first time in 10 years. And that's when I went, oh my gosh, I've got to tell people about this because I've never seen anything like that. And I sent a newsletter out to my followers, and the kind of response I got was amazing. So let me just go back a little bit. So when this first got started in Europe, they used this on 300,000 patients through medical doctors. And you know what they found? Listen to this. Everybody got better. 50% of them were stage 3 and 4 issues. You know what I'm talking about. The other 50% were elite athletes, actors, and very wealthy people because they were charging $150,000 for a 4-month blood upgrade. Luckily for us, the head of the science team had a daughter who has a daughter who married an American who happened to be in Europe when they were putting blood work into the computers, and he helped them. And they had been doing they'd done blood work every 3 weeks on these 300,000 patients. So there was massive amounts of data. And when he was all done, he came back to his father-in-law and said, "Holy moly, this is the cleanest, safest, most powerful thing you could put in your body." There were also no allergic reactions, no contraindications with any medications, no negative side effects. He said, "So let me take this to the United States and put it in a company that can take it directly to the end user at prices we can all afford." That happened over 5 years ago, and I heard about it when it was just here for 3 months. So I've been using this whole time, and it has just been getting better and better.